Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends. Welcome to Scholars. Hi, I'm Farzana Malik. Friends, today I'm going to discuss a few poetical devices which are figures of speech and comparisons in poetry, that is metaphor and simile. These two devices by which we compare certain objects, feelings and attitudes with others have to compensate for the adequacies of language. They enable us to bring together various segments of our experience, either real or imagined. In the communication of other experiences, poets are constantly dealing with the endless variety of experiences, thoughts, sensations, and emotions that constitute living. Aristotle said, "The greatest thing by far is to be a master of metaphor. It is the one thing that cannot be learned from others, and it is also a sign of genius." Through comparisons, poets are able not only to communicate the most complex materials but to communicate them more effectively and more meaningfully to the reader. Comparisons in poetry fall into two main classifications: similes and metaphors. Definition of metaphor: a metaphor is defined as a figure of speech in which a word or phrase, literally devoting one kind of object or idea, is used in place of another by way of suggesting a likeness or analogy between them. In simple words, we can say metaphor is a comparison. It is based on the idea of similarity in dissimilar. For example, coming events cast their shadows before. Love is a battlefield. Metaphors are equally important in producing images and in making the abstract concrete. In Odense, as I walked out one evening, in headaches and in worry, vaguely life leaks away. The abstract concept of life here made concrete through the metaphor. It is seen specifically as the contents of a leaky vessel. In the lines of Auden's poem, our attention is centered on life. It is not equally shared with a leaky vessel. Friends, a simile is a figure of speech by which one thing, action, or relation is compared, often with as or like, to something of different kind or quality. In simple words, we can say simile is the comparison of two things having some points of resemblance. For example, Tom is as ugly as sin. Life is like a box of chocolates. A poet has to look for an element of similarity in dissimilar things. This similarity must be real, credible, and meaningful. In Andrew marvels to his coy mistress, "Now therefore while the youthful hue sits on thy skin like morning dew." Here we can notice similarity in two things: youthful hue and dew. Youthful hue stands for Mistress' face constantly wet, or she has dewy freshness. Both are standing for transient quality. Both are bright, sparkling, and fresh. In another example, Henry Vaughan uses a simile to communicate his vision and understanding of eternity in these lines from The World. "I saw eternity to other night, like a great ring of pure and endless light, all calm as it was bright." Similes bring together units of experience to result in valuable and meaningful comments on life, on love, and on death. So we can say these are all human experiences.